have the last pick option, and so they switched to the bottom side to say, hey, you know what, we want to have I want to have the opportunity to be able to grab something, counter pick whoever's in my lane. They've had a little bit of time to discuss. I forgot to send them
on all the champions.
The red and blue side voice channels. Looks like most people are already in. Holy crap, what's going on with red team? They actually have 6 people in there. Swings both ways. What are you doing? His mic's muted. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Either way, we are in, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3. This is XLNC Shoutcasting. We cast every Tuesday and Thursday. We got some free play games going on. A couple of new people in here as well. All hail me. Welcome, Char, and welcome, Silvalee, still fairly new to the channel. Welcome back, Gwyndion Atlantis. What a name.
Gwyndion Atlantis.
Isn't that like a
Truly.
fantasy name?
It's gotta be, dude. Like,
It's
no,
so
this
good.
is somebody's fanfic, like, empowered name. Like, everybody's got that, like, that name that they're like, you know what? My parents named me something lame. I wish I was Gwyndion Atlantis.
That's okay. I'll let everyone who's on the channel right now in on a little secret. All right, here's the little secret.
Post your names in the chat.
So no, don't do that. The little secret that most people don't know is that Jake Kelton is not actually my real name. Jake Kelton is exactly what you just referenced. When I first wanted to play RuneScape, way back when I was a kid, and I mean I was like 10 years old, wanted to play RuneScape, I didn't want to have the stereotypical Dragon Boy 555. I was like, let me do something cool, let me do something awesome. What's a really cool, epic name that I can go battle dragons with? Jake Kelton. I don't know why it came to me. It just did. I came up with Jake Kelton, and I have used that ever since.
Stuck with me.
So
There you go.
I am Jake Kelton. It's not my real name. There's a little trivia for you. If I'm ever so famous that I get onto Jeopardy, my question comes up on Jeopardy, and it's like,
Is that another trivia fact? Like,
Yes.
I really want to be on Jeopardy.
no, I actually don't want to play on Jeopardy. I want to be so famous that I come up as a question on Jeopardy. Who's this shoutcaster that shoutcasted League of Legends back in this time on a very boring stream that nobody watched? And then everyone answers Jake Kelton, and it's like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. He's actually that's not
Incorrect.
his real name, right?
That is actually that's actually his RuneScape IGN from when he was younger.
Pogger.
It's like, whoa, dude. It's like RuneScape. I remember.
If RuneScape's still around, we'll see. Into this game. The Yi, the Gnar, the Ahri banned away. Most of these bans do not look like they are targeted bans. Usually I can pick out those targeted bans. It doesn't seem like most of these are, unless Hero banned the Yorick away from Smartest. But Smartest still is very good on Fiora. Instead, going for the jungle, Diana letting its little Vayne grab Shen for the top lane. It's all hail me. We'll be playing the LeBlanc for the mid lane. Big fan of that. Gwyndion grabbing Jax for the split push in the top lane, which means Jax versus... Wait, no, hold on. I may have misspoken. Is that a Shen top lane or a Shen support? Because they're currently carrying Exhaust.
Could be. He's currently has Exhaust, and I've actually dabbled. Being a support man myself, I've actually dabbled in the Shen support, and it's I gotta be honest. It's pretty fun. Like, it is not what you'd expect in the bot lane. You know, you go Aftershock, but it's kind of like in the early game. If you land taunt, then you can usually transfer that into a kill. But they might be looking to flex it. I don't know. They can trade, right?
Yes, this is definitely allowed for them to trade, and in these situations, it's actually not as common because people's champion pools are sometimes limited. They don't know each other. They won't do that. However, especially if you've been a part of the XLNC community for a while and you're friends with the other people that play on here regularly, they will do those sorts of trades. And don't be surprised if some players that are older players, maybe no free names, pulls out something a little unique, a little weird, a little, tanginess to it, because they like to have fun, especially because they know the games are being casted. I like to confuse the casters a lot. I like the Nico and the Urgot band. Both, I think, are incredibly strong when it comes to the team fights. Nico especially is interesting because I've actually started playing her as a support main myself, so Brofist for the support bros. I've tried Nico support, and it works until you're out of laning phase, and then she's so squishy that I usually end up dying 10 times. My team carries me, and I win somehow anyway. But Nico support is actually a lot of fun if you haven't tried it.
Well, for a time there, they had buffed her like attack speed per level or something like that, just like a quality of life buff, and all of a sudden she exploded in high elo as like a marksman. You build Ginsu's, and there was like this unintended bug where you could like double proc her W passive or her passive, and you wouldn't even put a skill point in her Q, and you just play her marksman, and it was pretty effective. Like it was seeing bans and like high elo solo Q. A lot of pros complained about it, and they ended up having to hotfix it.
So not going to be in this game either way, but I agree, had carry potential. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're in the mid lane and Cassiopeia is suddenly showing up in the bottom lane carry role. You're still looking to do as much damage to the enemy members as possible, and you get a little bonus support as well. We've got those bottom lane locked in for Team Pretty Flacko. The Ezreal and the Nami picked up very poke-heavy bottom lane, but I like it into the CC. The rest of the team has the Vigar, the Jax, the Gragas. When you have those three heavy CC members, you're thinking body slams, you're thinking counter strikes, you're thinking event horizons. All that stun that can come through will give Ezreal time to be able to deal a lot of damage from the side, as well as Nami to follow up on that CC with her own of those bubbles or the Monsoon ultimate to start things off. That said, the damage coming out from Team La Flame. I mean, Riven, Misfortune, LeBlanc, Diana. Ouchie!
No, if Diana can get in the mix of things and land good, like, I forget what the name of that ability, her E, like where she pulls everybody in, like, you're going to see some insane damage coming out from Misfortune. Maybe a third Q follow-up from Riven, a taunt from Shen, WR straight on LeBlanc. Like, if Team Pretty Flacko gets caught out here, they'll definitely see some heavy casualties. Although, on Team Pretty Flacko, there's a lot of magic damage on this team. You might see Banshee's Veils coming out from Diana or LeBlanc, Mob Mortius on Riven or Misfortune, but they also have the AoE capability with Gragas ult into, like you said, the Vigar Event Horizon. Jax has an AoE stun if he gets in the mix of things. Ezra ult across a Nami ult. Like, this is definitely going to be like somewhat of a 5v5 composition, unless we might see like a 4-1 where Riven and Jax are doing their own thing on an island. But definitely a lot of magic damage on Team Pretty Flacko, and it would be wise for Team LaFlame to potentially pick up a Locket, or like I said, those Banshee's Veil, even Merc Treads.
Yeah.
Really important in this game.
I can see Merc Treads, especially for that ADC, Misfortune. She's not exactly the most mobile of champions, and you definitely don't want to be popped in a single instance by that Gragas. Let's roll through the players and their champions as we get into analyzing these teams a little bit more afterwards. You are new here, so I'll run through the side of Team LaFlame to kind of introduce you to it, and then you can roll through the side of Team Pretty Flacko. So, for Team LaFlame, we've got Smartest 2 taking the Diana into the jungle. It's Little Veil with the Shen in the top lane. Or no, in the support. It is support, but with Ignite after all. All hail me! 12 with the LeBlanc in the mid lane. Silent Fire taking Riven to the top side. And no free names, rounding it out with Misfortune in the 80 carry role.
And on Team Pretty Flacko, we've got Hero on Gragas in the jungle. Quindian Atlantis on the Jax in the top lane, facing off against that Riven. Vigar in the mid lane on Arcane Vixen on Vigar in the mid lane, with Silva Lee on Ezreal as AD carry, and Char Ann on the Nami in the bot lane.
Give me 1 second. This is why you shouldn't be typing to the chat while also casting. What I wanted to comment on was kind of like you were talking about from the Team Pretty Flacko. Their 5v5 is absolutely nuts. They've got massive damage, good AoE, even their 4-1 super strong as well. That said, the side of LaFlame, look at their poke. And it's not even, not poke, their pick ability. Riven, well known for her 1v1, finds a squishy champion in the jungle, leaps on them, drops every single ability in an instant. They are gone. LeBlanc, the same thing, can hop through, has more hops than Ezreal has arcane shifts, as well as taking that flash. So can pop the Ezreal, can use the distortion to avoid Vigar's event horizon. A lot of good stuff. Really good opportunity to be able to find those individual picks. You want to have either 1v1s or 1v2 2s for your side. And if you pop one of those heavy damage dealers, the Ezreal, the Gragas, the Veigar, you should be able to then fight for those neutral objectives. Straight up 5v5, you're probably not going to win unless you have a good, solid 4,000 or 5,000 gold lead and maybe a 2 Drake head start. So we'll have to see if that's something they can manage. So speaking of, as we look at these junglers, the Diana and the Gragas, where are you seeing pressure from each of them that helps their team's objective out? Where are they wanting to go that can get their laners the furthest ahead, that can give their team the most success?
Definitely if Gragas is going AP, which I should assume he is, you would see the electrocute here. He is actually probably going to out-jungle Diana early and be able to apply like much more potent ganks. You'll probably see him more than likely path towards top and look to get Jax snowballing. If Jax can beat Riven in a 1v1, then they can definitely look to just take a 4-1 and let Jax do his thing in the top lane. Given that Shen is in the support role, the other option there would be to target the global, because you definitely don't want your gank's top lane to go awry because a Shen shows up and the Diana comes out for a counter gank, and all of a sudden it's a 3v2 and you're caught with your pants down. So if it were up to Gragas, just make sure that if you're going to go for a gank on the top side or the bottom side, you're aware as to where like Diana would be or the cooldowns on certain champions' abilities. Vision is going to be really important on Team LaFlame. Definitely because 3 ignites coming out, like you said, the pick comp is going to be very big. If Diana or LeBlanc get someone to face check into them, there are plenty of targets. Gragas is going to be AP and be made of paper. Ezreal, probably going to build a Iceborne Gauntlet, but potentially if it gets caught by the LeBlanc or the Diana, that's not going to do a lot. Nami, looking to ward other things, might have to face check some bushes here and there, and LeBlanc, Riven, Diana, they'll be able to capitalize on that when she looks to, walk forward.
So the thing to keep our eyes on is vision. As you said, super key. You need to know where the enemy team is if you're going to try to make a play, whether individual pick or as a 5v5 or 4v4 grouping composition. But additionally, positioning going to be everything in this game. Making sure that if you, for either side, are in position close enough to deal damage, say Veigar presses R, kills somebody instantly because that's what Veigar does, or mispositions and finds themselves in a spot that they can be bursted down by the opponent. We'll keep our eyes on where people go as the game progresses, but we are into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And Suave Rain, the sexiest man I think I have casted with, has joined me tonight. Thank you so much.
You flatter me, Jake. You flatter me. Come on, man.
Dude, that beard, though, it matches my beard. Hold on, we got the invade from the side of the pretty Flacko. A little bit of a cue there from the Ezreal. That is a fast Shen. Holy macaroni.
Laid off the platform, still had the home guard, but they did their research, and they made it out in time. Not even a summoner burned on the side of Team LaFlame.
What I love is he just kept running back and forth. He's like, do we engage? Do we engage? Do we engage? He looked like a puppy. Oh, it was just I want to go. I want to
go. He put a point in his taunt, and he's like, team. He's like, we can go here. I got aftershock. Like, it's happening in the bottom. Oh no, he doesn't have aftershock.
Well, that's a shock.
That. Well, that is a shock, and after the fact, indeed. Yeah, Summoner Spellbook coming out from Shen. It would be interesting to see what he's turning this Ignite and Flash into throughout the course of the game. But
would be good. Cleanse.
You already have your
would be good. Well, yes, but you have that in addition. So if they wanted to try a 1-3-1 composition with Shen in the bottom lane, and he wants to have that TP as extra security, those sorts of things. Here's the thing that what I do is, even if I disagree with something, I try to find the positive, try to get into the mind of the player and figure out what it is that they could be thinking that might give them those advantages that they're looking for.
For sure.
So there's that
possibility. They could look to soak 3 lanes instead of looking for a 1-4. They could look for a 1-3-1 and just try to stall it out with the Nami and the Veigar making, like, they can't exactly just walk at Team LaFlame. And so, you could look to 1-3-1 there and have Shen soak the experience and gold in the side lane. He'll have TP, he'll have his ultimate, and as long as they don't target him as the source of the globals, like with the teleport and his ultimate, then you'd be looking fat and happy, just soaking up resources.
And during the laning phase, you can also ult out and then TP back to lane afterwards if you switch that out. So there's some options. We'll see what he decides to go for, as in that top lane, Silent Fire, that level 2 gank, or just jump in by Riven. However, the counter-strike from Jax will even the trade up pretty well. So the famed level 2 in the bottom lane finds a taunt onto Char, and the Ignite comes through from Shen. Very aggressive. It won't kill the Nami, but will force her to play a little bit more defensively for a while, as Hero going to be joined by Arcane Vixen, catching out LeBlanc. They've got the barrel, force out the passive already. She's going to flash the wall. Hero takes the Blast Cone over the wall, wanting to continue to chase this in, but there is a Diana here. She's got double buffs as well. It's only a blue buff onto the Gragas. He's walking away. He's found the body slam, but the distortion for the LeBlanc over the wall. The flash from Smartest, not interested in tangling with a Vigar until Riven shows up, forcing the flash from the Vigar. There's no flash on the Gragas. Now that he's flashed and body slammed away, the flash from Silent Fire as well drops the Ignite. First blood to the Riven. Jax will fight his own shortly afterwards as well. 1-for-1, but Diana and Riven are on his tail. The stun comes through. Sorry, Gwendolyn. You've got a great name, but you're going to fall in the bottom lane. Shen's got the shield. He flashes. No, he just walks up following the flash from Charan. The Nami, who went over aggressive, caught out of position. Another taunt, making it a total of a 3-1 at the moment for La Flame, doing quite well at the beginning of the game.
I thought we just watched Bloody Gaming.
They're back again. They're all on their Smurfs. How can we not figure this out?
Goodness gracious! What a scuffle in the top side of the map, involving all 3 members, both top, jungle, and mid in that fight. And then the counter attack in bot lane, just in the 2v2. Shen going in on the Nami, knowing that she has already used her heal and playing such that if she flashes away, he can still capitalize.
And we know, actually, as much as we were excited about it for a moment, that it's not Bloody Gaming on blue side. And the way that we can tell is because they haven't paused the game 6 times already. If it was Bloody Gaming, they would have paused a whole bunch of times. Okay, actually, I should say 4 times, because they were about pause a minute at the beginning of the game. And then they added a couple more later into it. But they haven't paused yet, so it's most likely not Bloody Gaming playing on their Smurfs. Still, at this point in the game, Ezreal's got a 10 CS lead over the Misfortune. Small scuffle on that top side, but casting enough games with Jax, you'll learn that he's just going for those mini trades. Doesn't really look for an all-in until he's probably hit that level 6. But we are getting close to those level 6s, especially for that Jax in the top lane, level 5. Riven also level 5. So we might see a bit more of an aggression up there once they hit those 6s.
LeBlanc in the early game here, pushing in Vigar, and I really like his use of the shift timing to walk bot and pressure Silverly and Char-Ann away from pressuring the Misfortune and Shen in the bot lane. They've already got the first kill on, but Nami and Ezreal do have the range advantage, and as long as they don't get hit by the Shen taunt, they can really control that lane. That's literally the big mistake to make, is if you get hit by that Shen taunt, then you're gonna have a bad time. But until that happens, they can pretty much dictate how the lane goes, shove him in, look to get good CS. The way you beat an Ezreal in lane is actually pushing him in, and so they're doing a good job of making sure that they keep the lane in a position where they want it. But Vigar doing work, missing pings, making sure they know LeBlanc's on her way.
We are blessed, and blessed indeed, as another game is going to start off with an Infernal Drake. So we're going to be keeping our eyes out for team fights around that. LeBlanc going to miss her Ethereal Chains onto the Vigar in the mid lane, but doesn't walk into Event Horizon. That could have been a lot worse for her. Counter-strike by Jax, finds a stun onto Silent Fire in the top lane. Windy on to getting a lot of damage, decides not to chase in, having already used that Leap Strike, though. Flashes burned for both top laners, so it might be some opportunities for junglers to make some plays, but they want to stick around that bottom side, as in the mid lane, Gragas going to be looking for the body slam, forces out the distortion, and Vigar ults the clone!
Oh no!
Are you kidding me? Oh, big rip for Arcane Vixen, picks the wrong target. It's so rare that passive works. Worked that time though. No free names, just avoids a bubble. The Shen taunt going to miss as well. They've got the exhaust onto Silverly, who hops the wall. She's doing a good job avoiding death for now, flashing away. However, Shen wanting to continue chasing onto this Nami. Gragas coming in, trying to defend. The Infernal Drake sets him up, and Smartest drops him with the Q. Thanks you for the assist, Infernal Drake.
goodness, man, that Infernal Drake did work there. Pushed him away. It made him mess up the flash, and Diana was able to loop around and capitalize on that. Gragas just sitting there. He's like, run, man, run. You know, Ezreal's heal is up in like 3-4 seconds. You know, if that fight happened maybe 30 seconds later, he might have been able to make it out scotch-free, but fortunately he was not, and they pick him up.
Yeah, he was definitely duct taped down as Gwendolyn falls in the top lane. Silent Fire, level 6, definitely Riven advantage in that top side. She's actually picked up the Phage and Kindle gen. Interesting choice, going for probably a Black Cleaver first, not going for the Hydra, which I usually would expect out of Rivens, especially against a Jaxi if you're trying to split push and you're looking to just mass farm. But obviously Rivens wants to be a little bit more tanky.
No, definitely. The only other front line potentially out of Team LaFlame is the Shen, but he's gonna be tanking on a support budget. So you know, Riven building that Black Cleaver, getting her early cooldown reduction, being able to make sure she stays like, you know, can dart in and out of the minion wave and fight with Jax like that. It's gonna be really important that she maintains like a decent amount of health for this lane. And Hydra allows her to sustain up, but Black Cleaver just ultimately will be like a good first purchase for her, giving her the cooldown reduction she needs to, you know, get her shields up, make sure she lands her abilities.
It's Lil Vayne gonna flash forward, looking for the taunt. There's the Misfortune bullet time as well, and Lil Vayne gets out alive. Charan going to fall. Excuse me, sorry. Pokemon only faint, they don't die. So the Nami going to faint in the bottom lane. But with the Infernal Drake picked up as well, LaFlame getting the Drake for the name. They are starting off well. Nice flash to avoid the counter-strike. Silent Fire going to go back in the ultimate pop by the Jax. He's going to flash away. Silent Fire chasing him into the brush. There's a fight. Top fight mid as Silent Fire finds the kill on the top side. And now all hail me. Pops the Vigar in the mid lane as well. Vigar's ult was up, but he didn't use it. Going down. Arcane Vixen having a bit of a rough game there, as Hero trying to make the counterplay onto Silent Fire the top side. What can Riven do? She's going to get flash body slam. The ultimate for the ultimate BM from Hero. Fat Man secures his first kill of the game.
A good gank by Hero there, recognizing that, you know, Gwyndian needed some assistance, but he needed it like 15 seconds earlier. You know, waddling around the place. You know, Gragas.
Hold on, he's a little large. He's a little slow. All right,
thick-skinned, you know, and big-boned, like, but still no boots.
No
boots.
Boots.
Even thick-skinned and big-boned people need boots, Jake. So, you know, perhaps could have been able to get there a little bit sooner, but definitely picks up the counter kills. So.
Only one turret shot onto the Ezreal. Nice taunt by Shen. And drops the Ignite as well. That is the second time that it's Lin Vale dropping the Ignite, but it's not going to secure a kill. However, it might force the Ezreal to back and head back to the fountain, giving Misfortune some time to free farm in that bottom lane. With the play on the top side, and Gragas picking up the kill, that is only the second kill for Team Pretty Flacko. They are behind 2,500 gold, 8 kills to 2. They are in a rough situation, but again, we discussed at the beginning of the game how their team comp was more centered around the grouping and team fights. So right now, it's not really a surprise that they're losing out in these laning phases, because the lanes alone are advantage to LaFlame, generally speaking.
Yeah, right now, they're just winning everywhere. You know, top lane is getting ahead, which is exactly what you want in case you want a 1-4. You know, bot lane is winning in case you want a 1-3-1.
Oh, ultimate from Nami to stop the ult from the Shen. He's going to try to dash away, but Gragas is here. Gonna get him with the barrel and electrocute. In the top lane, Riven's diving the turret to kill the Jax. I think Shen may have even been ulting to the top side to try to make a play with the Jax, but a great counterplay by Team Pretty Flacko. They get one trade, and Arcane Vixen drops the ultimate, escapes alive. The turret shot follows. LeBlanc goes down, and Arcane Vixen gets the shutdown. Misfortune tries to get a little bit of damage onto Ezreal. The Arcane Shift will keep him alive. Crazy plays all game long.
A little miscalculation by LeBlanc there. Almost getting the kill, even the last auto attack, but was like, what, 10 damage short of killing Vigar there. And the tower finishes all hail me. 12 off. An unfortunate death there, especially given that he was already ahead in the lane. You know, a little behind in CS, but with 2-1 up on this Vigar, giving him a chance to get back in the game. Arcane Vixen definitely going to scale well into the late game. If, you know, you walk up, you know, and buffer your R key onto LeBlanc, if she doesn't have Sonya's or Banshee's Veil, she's gonna have a rough time. And champions like Diana too could potentially suffer from this Vigar ult damage if Arcane Vixen's allowed to take off in this game.
All right, these mid laners evened up in items. If you actually look across them, they've both got the Lost Chapter Blasting Wand, Doran's Ring, level 1 boots. Technically, LeBlanc has a small advantage with the Ancient Tome, but that is minimal at best at this point in the game. Want to check in very briefly while we have a half second for a breather and see what the next Drake is. It's a second Infernal Drake. Oh my lord, this game just keeps getting better. 3,000 gold lead for Team LaFlame as they're making a play in the bottom lane. LeBlanc hopping forward, trying to pop Charan, who flashes away. The Nami alive for now. Taunt comes through onto the Ezreal. He's getting a lot of trade damage. Ignite comes down once again. Will not kill him. Ultimate from Nami. Knocking up the Shen, but LeBlanc is in underneath the turret. The heal from Nami keeps him alive until Diana shows up and picks up a double kill. Smartest might go down to the turret shot. It is going to be traded over. So it's a 2-for-2 as Riven fell on the top side. I think was diving the Jax again and died. Didn't even get to see that fight.
Yeah, no, I want to touch up on these dragons. Both of these teams really want these dragons in the early game, especially given that they're infernals. It's going to be really important. Vigar is going to get insane amounts of AP from this. Building Rabadons, having, an infernal to boot. It's going to be really dangerous for both of these teams, considering how much damage is on both of these teams. They're really going to want to fight over this, and it's going to be a really important early objective for both Team LaFlame and Team Pretty Flacko.
11 kills, 2-6, but that gold lead that Team LaFlame originally had is starting to get a little bit smaller. Event Horizon dropped by the Vigar, however, not going to get much of a trade. Wait, Riven jumping forward, knows that the Jax has to be somewhere around. Chases through the brush and finds the kill. That was just badly played. And Ezreal, True Shot Barrage is off the map. Maybe he was hoping for an around the world to catch Shen out on the other side as All Hail Me continues to harass this Vigar down. Gets stunned up though underneath the turret with the Event Horizon. Again, Arcane Vixen finds the kill. Are you kidding me? That is 2 times this game.
See it. Oh, just a little misstep there by All Hail Me. Oh, man, if he stayed within the Event Horizon, completely fine, getting the good harass damage on Arcane Vixen. But a good turn by Vigar there, definitely seeing that.
Infernal Drake started up, Shen coming in, Misfortune ultimate, drop bullet time will find the kill onto the Nami. And Shen, I believe he might have had Smite available with that open spell book, will secure the Infernal Drake, second Infernal to LaFlame, as they are definitely looking to continue to burn down the enemy team. Silva Lee has to play safe in the bottom lane because Diana has so much damage. 4, 1, and 3. She's also got Rift Herald, having picked it up earlier. Could drop it in the bottom lane, and there's no one like that Nami to try to stop her. If she decides to do it, just hops in, bursts the Ezreal. Silent Fire trying to make a 1v2 play, running away from the Jax and the Vigar. Can't run away from Leap Strike on the Jax, though, and will drop bottom lane. Turret first tier has fallen, and now Diana going to pop the Rift Herald, so it's going to walk in onto the second tier. Probably get at least 1 slam down. Has to get through these minions, though, first.
And that's the damage we're talking about. Diana able to just dash in there and destroy Ezreal and get out scot-free. It's really going to turn into a problem for Team Petty Flacko. Same thing there. Shen lands the taunt. They go in. Diana picks up the kill. Lots of damage coming out by Team LaFlame. Gragar's looking to return something, though.
And he does! Body Slam did drop the ultimate as well. Finds the slow, but also a LeBlanc. So he's going to get bonked and fall, making it overall a 3-4-1. Still favoring LaFlame. They are starting to just take this game and slam it into the books. A 4,000 gold lead, double Drakes. Grindion, though, making a play on the top side. Should be able to secure this top lane turret, even if Silent Fire comes up. I think he might have been shopping, though, because Jax just goes straight on in. The ultimate, though, from Riven is not going to be enough. The CC is through, and Silent Fire picks up yet another solo kill. 7-3-0. That Black Cleaver, as you talked about when she first built that, doing wonders for her.
The cooldown reduction is very important on Riven, given she has no mana costs. If you just build cooldown reduction, it's just more abilities, more damage, and the health definitely helping her survive the Jax fight there. Him sitting only on Trinity Force and Ninja Tabi, the Black Cleaver, and she picked up a Vamp Scepter too. We might see that turn into Death's Dance with the Caulfields as well.
19 kills to 9 tells the story of this game. It's been bloody. We're coming up on almost 1.5 kills every single minute, and Hero finds his own kill onto Shen on the top side as well, defending the turret effectively. Arcane Vixen hiding underneath the turret, popped by the LeBlanc. I kind of saw that one coming. True Shot Barrage once again disappear. Ezreal's sending those out for some other map, I suppose, and Gragas falls to Diana, caught out in the enemy team jungle. And at this point, it's almost not even worth it to specifically cast every single moment of the fight. And the reason why is because it's all about who pops who faster. Everyone's dying within a moment, and so it's just kill or be killed on this map.
There's definitely a lot of damage coming out from both of these teams. It's just going to be explosive fights, hoping for some nice AoE damage. If Diana can get in there with the Misfortune ult, like we were saying, Riven getting in there too. LeBlanc on the flank too, just looking to pop somebody. Nami's looking pretty squishy, but minions were there, able to block some of her damage.
Civilly misses a couple of those spells and now can get jumped on. Distortion comes back up. Nami ultimate burned and wasted. Riven gonna go in, throws out the ultimate, but a nice flash from Civilly keeps her alive. However, Nami not gonna be so lucky. Event Horizon forcing Riven to hang around here for just a moment. Jax coming out of the backside. Riven's still gonna go in, looking for the Vigar, but ulted underneath the turret. That's the Vigar. Press R, gets that kill. Shen going to fall as Jax is able to burn him down through the bullet time. Misfortune flashes through to get one of her own. They're looking for more kills. Diana is split pushing on the bottom side. That's the only thing Smartest knows how to do. LeBlanc will trade 1-for-1 with the Gragas as well. Triple kill to Gwydion, but Smartest 2 can now get some free time on this bottom lane inhibitor turret. Might be able to even secure it before the rest of the team shows up. Should go down.
That triple kill onto Jax is what you want to see if you want to get back into this game. You need to split Riven away from the rest of the team. 8-4 right now, 117 CS. Riven is looking like an absolute monster. Arcane Vixen definitely countering him under the tower though, but if Riven's able to just have her way with this game, it's going to be a really hard time for Team Peta Flacko. Getting him ahead and making sure he's able to potentially 1v1 Riven in a split is going to be really important if they're wanting to get back into this game. Oh, Diana
Wind
just going in
break,
on him, finishing him off.
Yep, that's 8, 2, and 3. Diana sees someone with half health and says, "Oh, that's another minion for me to farm up. I'll go ahead and grab that." Wind Drake, the next Drake of the game, positioning secured by Team LaFlame, doing well. However, there is a Ezreal and Nami that could try to ruin this for them, headed down here, but it is 2 versus most of the team from LaFlame. So they might have to just back off.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where you just type in team chat, give. Oh, Shen looking for the taunt there, though. They're looking to counterattack with the Nami. Oh, he's stunned up. Gragas goes in for a big body slam ultimate. And Diana follows in, but there's too much damage by Team LaFlame. They're cleaning him up. Vigar doing what he can. Jax entering the fight after respawning, but the Event Horizon prevents them from following, and Jax jumps in, stuns up Diana, and finishes her off. LeBlanc trying to escape. Jax is looking really big here, but Riven's there to help her out and gets the Ignite down, and Jax is shit out of luck with Vigar coming on the backside. Not able to do much there. Sorry for swearing.
That is all right. We try to keep it PG, but sometimes you just get so hyped. You just get crazy hyped, and that was a massive, once again, bloody fight. 4-4-3 was the final total deaths of that fight. All hail me, splitting to the bottom side, looking for the inhib. Ezreal's going to be here pushing the LeBlanc away. She's still going to have her double distortion up here in just a moment as that ultimate's going to come off of cooldown. Ignite up as well. Probably going to be looking to try to pop someone. True Shot Barrage going to slide on by without really hitting anyone. All hail me, still on the run. The Q comes through from the Ezreal, getting the slow as well. The Shanna ultimate coming down. He's going to try to go in. However, the Grump is trying to add in some extra damage as well. The LeBlanc passive pop. She's going to run, or Clone's going to run one way. Shen's going to head the other. So far, all hail me, staying alive and just kind of baiting out the Gragas for long as possible. He's got an ultimate, though, trying to bring her closer to the Ezreal to pick up. Gragas says, fine, I'll do it myself. Throws out a barrel. Ezreal arcane shifts to get the kill. Shen and Misfortune down here, though, to defend the turret. And there's no wave to push.
That E.
That was interesting.
Dodge that E. Yeah, no, you just E forward. You can't dodge it. Even if she follows the W back, the E damage follows.
Jax is super tanky, though, fighting 1v2. Bullet time gonna drop him low. However, he's dodging out everything with that counter strike. Finds the stun, finds the kill, and finds a 1v2. Gwydion, oh my lord, turns that fight around.
Win condition. That's what I was saying. If you can get Jax to a point where he can just 1v3, you know, pull a shin on Team LaFlame, it's going to be a bad time. It's potentially going to cause some problems for Team LaFlame as if Jax is able to just jump in there and do whatever he wants with them.
Oh, and this Vigar as well, truly coming online. 1 R dropped the Diana to about a quarter of a health, and then the Q comes through. Hero also good positioning to make sure to keep that Diana from really being able to escape. Bubble's going to miss from the Nami. Silent Fire taking the Blast Cone out. Throws out that ultimate, trying to steal away the red buff. Won't get it. Still good stuff, though. And from Pretty Flacko, they've actually been able to defend their base fairly well. They lost the mid lane exterior turret, the third one, due to Diana pushing in earlier. However, way early on into the game, hold on, Gwyndian going to try to 1v2 once again, finds the stun onto the Riven. However, she's got plenty of CC back. That should be the Jax falling, and all that pressure that Jax got earlier just falls apart in that fight in mid lane.
The gap is closing, Jake. Jax was in a 1v3 and almost took down Silent Fire there. You know, Riven's looking, you know, pretty cautious when dealing with Jax. It's not looking like a 1-4. It's going to be a really good option for them moving on to the late games because, you know, Riven's just going to have to stick with her team and hope that Gwyndian is on the other side of the map. The Spear of Sojin on Jax is just a really good item because it just complements his kit so well. You press R, you jump in, and you just start hitting things. And you benefit greatly from it. The stats all benefit the kind of play style Jax wants to play, and it's a pretty easy one. You just bang your head on the keyboard, right-click their champion, press W, press E, press Q, and just roll your fingers across those 3 keys, and you'll see success on Jax.
Shen going in, can't find the taunt onto the Ezreal just yet. No free names. Little bit slow this game, down about 20 CS to the Ezreal. Riven around the corner, though, looking to come from behind on the Ezreal and the Vigar. In the meantime, Diana picked up a turret on the top side. Shen goes in. Bullet time from Misfortune, dropping the Ezreal low enough that he has to go away. The R comes out from the Vigar, setting up Ezreal to finish off the Misfortune. Fight in the top side means Diana goes down. Fight on the bottom side means the Shen goes down, but Ezreal's quick to follow as All Hail Me shows up and ruins the fun that Team Pretty Flacko was trying to have. 2 members of each team left alive. Silent Fire trying to push on the bottom side. Again, both teams somewhat ignoring the objective of Baron that's still been up on the map for a while now. But you know what? It's more fun to get kills. About a 6,000 gold lead at the moment for LaFlame.
A good cross-map play by both teams here. They looked like 2 team fights were breaking out in both the top and bottom lane there. Given the state of the game, though, and the way the towers have been, this is pretty much Team LaFlame's...
The stare down! The stare down!
I see you there. Oh, almost! That ultimate was really close there. Just a couple, like 50 units to the south there, and LeBlanc would have seen a... thrown right back into Hero there.
LeBlanc had 1 distortion up, maybe a second as well. But either way, second win rate going to go over to Team LaFlame. We can dream, and maybe the body slam CC would have been enough. They're going to find her, catch her out, though. Talking about the body slam. Joined with the counter-strike from the Jax. They're going to find Event Horizon from the Vigar, though. Stuns up the Diana long enough for Jax to come in as well, picking up another kill. 10, 9, and 2. May have all the deaths on his team, but is doing his best to have all the kills as well.
That was a really good job by Hero there, holding on to his E cooldown, making sure that either the distortion times out or LeBlanc decides to go back to it. And All Hail Me tried to go for the outplay there, went right back to it, but Hero saved his body slam and just instantly punished him with Arcane Vixen and Gwyndian looking to capitalize on that.
So the gold lead has gone from what was at one point a 7,000 gold lead down to about 5. And with this bottom lane turret, if it goes down, we'll continue to get slimmer and slimmer. But keep in mind, it's 4 Drakes for the side of LaFlame. If a Elder comes up, which it's looking like as we're not even to the 30-minute mark and we still have exterior turrets in this game, we're likely going to get at least 1 Elder. That is going to be massive if LaFlame pick that one up.
No, definitely. LaFlame, 4 dragons to 0. Team Pretty Flacko is going to have a hard time.
Shen ultimate coming through. The bubble, though, from the Nami. CC's Misfortune out of the bullet time, but it doesn't matter. The collapse from LaFlame. They pick up 2.
We're slowly approaching the Elder Dragon spawn at 35 minutes. And like I said, 4-0. 4-0 dragons. Double Cloud, double Infernal on the side of Team... Ooh, Jax. but Hero's there to help him out. They look to turn it, but oh, LeBlanc has abandoned him. Oh no, Gragas sees him over on the side, but all that's left is, oh my goodness, a good 2v2 by Riven and LeBlanc there. They definitely outplayed the nice Zhonya's coming out from All Hail Me. Meanwhile, their team is taking bot inhibitor.
Yeah, the split push was all about delaying Pretty Flacko from coming back to the fountain, as Smartest will send Arcane Vixen back to the fountain with the death timer. And I don't know what happened to the graphics for a moment. That was beautiful to see. I think True Shot Barrage went right through the camera as Silverleaf's trying to make the play, dropping its little vein as well as the Misfortune. So he's been able to pick up a triple kill and defend the base for Pretty Flacko. They lost the bottom lane inhibitor and one Nexus turrets, but they've defended these other inhibitors and the Nexus itself, the most critical objective of all, as Riven has to back away. However, that play in the mid lane, LeBlanc was so good with those distortions. Every time somebody was trying to find that kill, because she got so low health with the initial burst from Gragas, but it didn't kill her, everyone just kept chasing her in circles. In the meantime, Riven was destroying everyone's health, just like she's destroying Ezreal's health from over the wall. Flashes, getting the CC. Silent Fire goes dominating, looking for Hero as well. The Gragas cannot get back to the base in time. He will fall, and Riven, 14-4-5, says, you know what, team, if you're going to end, I'll just carry you myself.
And next on the docket for Team Pretty Flacko here is to make sure they've got waves pushed out. You know, the super minions coming in the bot side, they really don't want that pressuring their base with Baron on the table, because if they have to move somebody back to defend this bottom side, then, you know, Team LaFlame is going to be able to just take Baron for free like we're seeing right now. They have to move bot side to deal with the minions, and Team LaFlame, good vision control, just walk in and aim to take Baron.
Like
Absolutely
a fire.
No contest.
Once you get out of control, it's so hard to stop, and they continue to consume everything in their path. They won the fight in the mid lane as 3 members are pushing a bottom lane. Even though all 3 went down to the Ezreal, it's just only so much that Ezreal can do. And now LeBlanc looking to pop the Ezreal, goes in, avoids the bubble, the nice distortion out. However, Ezreal sent back to the fountain bleeding.
Yeah, no, they really got to stop the bleeding is what they've got to do for Team Pretty Flacko. You know, they're looking to set up good vision control on this top side, and you know, like I was saying, vision is going to be super important here. They got to make sure that, oh, nice push camp coming out from Team Pretty Flacko. This is definitely a way to get back into the game, get some objectives on the table from like having a power play, but looks like Team LaFlame are not taking the bait. Oh, Jack's going in, but a good distortion by All Hail Me, just making sure he stays out of trouble. Gwyndian looking for some blood here. Doesn't know he's standing on a ward, though, I don't think. Oh, no, they do ping it.
Well, it's most likely they're sending a ward. LeBlanc gonna try to catch out the Nami. Drops a lot of damage to the ultimate from the Nami. Comes through. However, LeBlanc goes golden, staying alive. In the top side, Diana finds Jax, drops him. Gragas will fall as well as Misfortune flashes in to get the last kill. Riven's GA has been popped. Arcane Vixen, a little bit of graphical error, running away from the bullet time of Misfortune. To once again hiding underneath the turrets. Misfortune getting a lot of damage on Silverleaf over the wall. In the meantime, Diana is hitting this top lane inhibitor turret. Moving on to the inhibitor itself. The super minions have to be stopped. Smartest is trying to just farm up the enemy team champions. This should spell the end of the game, as LaFlame has done a fantastic job beginning to end. The fights have been bloody and chaotic. They want to make sure they get every single structure in Red Side's base. They want the Ezreal as well. Everyone's dashing and flashing. Take give down. Nami's alive. Kill the Nami too. They don't, but they will kill the Nexus.
88 players, man.
And take
They're ravenous.
Game number 3. That means that in tonight's Jat stats, every single blue side team has won tonight. Blue side's 100% win rate.
Really?
Yeah.
Blue side 100% win rate.
It doesn't mean that much. I just thought it was a fun random Jat stat.
No, absolutely. I love it. Blue side OP, man.
All right, well, what we do here on XLNC is we run through the players and the champions on both sides, giving each team an honorable mention and an MVP who we thought deserved those for both sides. I'll do it this game, however, I know you're casting with me next game as well, so I'll have you jump in and join next game as the analyst giving your thoughts. For the losing side, Team Pretty Flacko, again, I don't know why my music just keeps randomly pausing. Spotify, fix yourself. For the losing side, pretty Flacko, I'm going to give the honorable mention over to Hero, who was trying to make some crazy plays, lots of burst damage, finding out a couple of champions, died a number of times, but overall kill participation, 16. That's higher than I think anyone else on the team, almost doubling some of them. Good stuff out of Hero. Let me go ahead and actually write that down. This is what I should be doing. There we go. And then for the MVP, even though a ton of deaths, I'm going to give it to Gwyndion for playing an incredible Jax, and on top of that, 2v1 in certain situations and still was able to find kills and wins. Not the best positioning all the time, but played a very hard game. Highest gold on the team for the entirety of the team. I think if there's anything I would say, maybe consider doing a bit more split pushing and not quite as much team fighting when your team was already on the slightly losing side, especially considering that you were able to 1v2 several times. But either way, fantastic stuff. For the winning side, we're going to go ahead and give the... Well, do you want to do the winning team?
Sure, okay. Absolutely. I completely agree with your honorable mention and MVP for Team Pretty Flacko as well. Hero and Gwyndion definitely doing a fantastic job for their team. Unfortunate loss, but blue side OP, man. We already said it. As far as honorable mention for Team La Flame, I'm gonna have to give it to Smartest. He always showed up where he was needed. Like you'd see Jax, Gwyndion, like you mentioned, doing these, good 1v1s, setting it up, being able to like take down, key targets and almost making it out. But Smartest was always there on the catch. He was always there, ready to make sure that Jax doesn't like get anything for free. And we saw it multiple times this game, a couple times even soloing the Jax. But no, definitely Smartest for the honorable mention here. He was doing a great job making sure that, his team isn't just losing things for free, so to speak. But the MVP here, I'm going to have to give it to Silent Fire. He kept, this is also in relation to Jax, but he kept Gwyndion down for the first portion of the game. If that laning phase had gone the other direction, we definitely saw the capability out of Gwyndion, and Silent Fire there, dude, definitely making some key plays in the early game. I think he was like 4-0 at one point, and doing a really good job making sure that he won his lane, transitioned his lead to the rest of the team, looked to group for objectives, and just played an all-around really good game. 14-45, 197 CS. Not the most on his team, but the second most and the third most in the game. Second most gold on his team, but definitely a really good game by Silent Fire here.
I completely agree. A couple of times actually flashing both underneath the turret as well as you could see running in and flashing through the brushes trying to catch Jax before he recalled. That's the aggressive plays you like to see. That's the I'm going to go all in. I'm not 100% positive I'm going to be able to actually catch this Jax. He might have walked back to his turret, but I'm going to burn everything anyway on the off chance that they're sitting in this brush and I get the kill. Totally awesome. Great commitment there as well. Well, we have a ton of people that we also want to get into game number 4, technically game number 2 of the free play games. We're going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Actually, before we go, I want to check in on the stats. Can I do this? Does this work? Oh, I've not set up the automation of that yet. There we go. All right, I want to check on who did the most damage because I have a new stats page, guys. It's awesome. Riven actually sneaks out with most damage just barely as Ezreal crested the 25,700 mark, but it's 26,000 for the Riven. That is some insane damage that game. Everyone loving those team fights. All right, just wanted to check in, let everyone have a nice eye of all this damage that was done in that game. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Game number 4 coming right up.
Sorry for swearing. I got a little